Welcome everyone to Haven of Horror. As always, I'm Subject, and we have the two sisters here, Robert and Noah. I'll let you guys decide who's who. Um,
You didn't say movie character names, so we are Robert and Noah respectively.
Well, I'd rather be Noah, so suck it.
Okay,
but I
fine.
said no. I said you guys are the
No.
sisters, so you'd have to pick one of the sisters from this movie.
Oh. Alright.
How did that go over your heads?
Nah, I think John fucked it up. I'm Team Noah. I'm with my sister on this one.
Alright, us sisters, we gotta stick together.
That's right.
Clip that out of context.
Literally. Anyway.
But yeah, Robert made us watch this shitty movie. No. Movie I'd never heard of, but a director that I like. I like his Carrie, the first Mission Impossible. So I was excited to go through this. Robert, so we're gonna do about an hour on this movie. I'm sure that won't be hard to hit. There's a lot going on. It's so dense. Robert, what made you pick this motion picture?
The short answer is it was currently streaming on HBO Max, so that seemed like a good one to do. But also, I first watched this movie back in January, I think. I watched it at a friend's house.
Perfect time for this kind of movie.
Yeah, exactly. But they had that on the Criterion collection, and now a ton of Criterion movies are on HBO Max, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I didn't really know much about this going in. I hadn't really heard of it before I watched it, and I thought it was cool. I really enjoyed it. I think Margot Kidder's great in this movie, who everyone remembers her as Lois Lane, but here I think she gives a very good performance. It's a very different type of character. But also, I don't know if we want to lead with spoilers.
Put some respect on her role in Black Christmas, okay?
She is great in Black Christmas, that's true. Another
I have to watch that again.
I'll just say that if you know anything about De Palma, it's that he's a big Hitchcock fan, and boy, is there a lot of that in this movie.
Yes.
But as is, I think it's interesting. I think it's fun. I think it's a cool little movie, a classic evil twin story, just like that Bart episode in that Treehouse of Horror.
This is the ultimate split screen co-op movie.
There is some of that here. Yep.
John thought he was playing a Lego game when he saw that.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do a little bit without spoilers, and then we'll mark clearly where this is the spoiler territory, because this is a plotty film, if you will. Robert, since this is your pick, go ahead and give us a brief synopsis of Sisters.
So, Sisters, where do I start?
Typically, one starts at the beginning.
Okay, but in classic Hitchcock fashion, there's some twisted words here. Facken. But we're introduced to Margot Kidder's character, an aspiring actress who has a twin. Who we learned pretty early on. The idea is, they were born Siamese twins, like conjoined twins, and there was a surgery to separate them. And a murder happens, and then it's kind of a whodunit, but investigative thriller. There's a lot of POV shifts in this movie, kind of surrounding this murder that happens. It's not what I'd call a slasher movie. There's not a lot of that here. It's a plot tied around this one very specific murder that happens in the first act.
I will say I was shocked how gory that murder is for 72.
It's so violent.
Yeah. That caught me off guard.
Yeah, it's clear, and it's very much the Psycho shower scene, his riff on that, both in how violent it is, but also that POV shift you get after, like, oh, now it's this type of movie.
Yeah.
Now we're following
Yeah.
this character.
Well, we'll get into
But
it, but
yeah,
it's Psycho in more ways than one.
yes, very
It's
much so.
Psycho meets Rear Window in some ways.
Yeah.
When actually, I was worried a bit before I watched this movie that I had spoiled it for myself because I was double checking to see if it was still on Max before I watched it, and I ended up reading the description, which was something like a woman tries to prove who witnesses a murder from across the street and tries to prove it. And I was like, oh, okay, so this is just Rear Window. And I was worried that it was like, because I think Robert, you had said don't look up too much about the movie before you see
Yes.
it. So it's like, oh damn, if that was the reveal, then I kind of spoiled it for myself. Turns out that doesn't begin to explain like half of what happens in this movie,
So
which I was pleasantly surprised with.
so I will say I did go into this blind. I called the twist. How you get there caught me off guard. But what I want to give this movie kudos for, without saying what happens, is I called it relatively early because I had seen another movie that does a similar twist. So I was like, oh, okay, this is where it's going. Then the movie faked me out, and I was like, oh, I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, no, wait, I was right.
I I was really curious to hear how confused you might have been by the end of this movie. I think it checks out, it makes sense when it's all said and done. But like if you miss something or if you're not paying attention during a certain part, I could see this really because this movie turns into kind of a mind fuck in the climax. And I could totally
That
understand
threw
that
me
throwing
off
you off.
because
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so I'm wrong, but I like this idea too. But then it started getting weird. I was like, okay, am I right? And then I had to look it up after I'd watched the movie to see what had happened. I was like, no, I was right. I called it.
Yeah. Without getting into specific. Yeah, oh, wait.
Well, wait.
Till later. Yeah.
Noah, what did you think of Sister?
I thought it was cool. I don't know. Is this one of De Palma's first movies? I assume it's early
It,
on in his
it
career.
it's definitely early. Yeah.
It has some of
Yeah.
those
Scary.
like first or early film hallmarks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I get the vibe. Watching this was kind of a cool like educational experience because I got the vibe of this, um, which you see when you look at a lot of directors' filmographies where they will kind of mimic one specific style or like pay tribute to one other director a lot. I think in Paul Thomas Anderson's early career, that was very much looking at like Robert Altman and Martin Scorsese a lot, and you can see that. With this is just like Hitchcock. This is just a Hitchcock movie, but
Yes.
more modern for the time. You know, more gore, more somehow more sleazy than a classic Hitchcock movie. Um, so it was just kind of interesting looking at it in that regard. I would not say it's my favorite of what I've seen of De Palma's work. I think he goes on to carve out a much more of like his own identity, and make movies like Scarface or Carrie that are a lot more varied than kind of just doing sleazy Hitchcock. But
You said
as
it
a
like it's a bad thing.
suspense,
Sleazy
well,
Hitchcock is peak.
no, I mean, I think it's good that he differentiated himself, but it's cool to see how he began.
Real quick, just to follow up on your point before we move on. This is, if I counted right, his sixth film. Although I'm not sure about one of them because he's got two movies in '68. One of them says it was distributed by Aries Documentary, so that might be a documentary. I don't know if he's ever done anything like that. So he's had a few films under his belt at this point, but
But
I don't know
also
how big
stuff
they
I've
were.
never.
Okay.
Yeah, stuff I haven't heard of before.
Yeah.
And all stuff made in a very short amount of time. His next film after this is Phantom of the Paradise, which I've not seen, but I know was a
Yes.
failure. when it came out. It's since built up a cult following, but like I said, I haven't seen it. And then after that is Carrie, and that's probably like his first really major hit.
There's
Yeah.
one film in
What
between called
remember.
Obsession,
Oh, okay.
but that came out the same year as Carrie, so I don't know
Alright.
what the whole.
So, yeah, who knows? But yeah, there's a lot more De Palma I need to watch. I've only seen.
I'm more curious now.
But
This is the third one I've seen. Obviously, I've seen Carrie and I've seen Mission Impossible.
yeah, I think Dress to Kill and Body Double are his
Body
other
Double.
like big
Yeah.
Hitchcock homages. So I definitely want to watch those at some point.
For sure. Anyway, Noah, did you have any other thoughts or feelings about this motion picture?
No, just overall, I really enjoyed it. I guess we can talk a bit about. Well, I don't know if we want to get into spoilers soon, but I thought that Margot Kidder did a good job in this movie, and she gave a good performance. But I will say, because I didn't do a lot of research into this before I watched it, I was not expecting her to do an accent, so that
Yeah.
really threw me off when she first started talking. I got used to it though. But it was just really really strange seeing Lois Lane like speak French Canadian.
I could have done without the accent. It was starting to grate on me a little bit halfway through the movie. Because okay, so here's the thing, real quick. I would just say I loved this film.
Okay.
No, I really liked it. Ending aside, I'm not entirely sure on that yet, but
Me neither.
it was a really solid mystery. I think it would have been interesting. I don't know if it would have made sense, and I'll get more into this when we get into spoilers. But what I kind of wish it went where I thought it was going to go when it subverted my expectations instead of then looping back around to exactly what I expected to happen. But no, I thought this was a really fun movie. I enjoyed watching that reporter kind of do her thing. There's a couple of moments where I can't decide how heightened this is supposed to be because the cops are like cartoon characters, and her accent sounds more like a stereotype than an actual accent. But also part of me is wondering if that accent's real or it's just something she's putting on. Do French Canadians talk like that?
Some probably do.
We need Austin. Where's Austin?
But I think in my opinion, this does operate kind of in that Hitchcock heightened reality that a lot of his films do. Like a lot of Hitchcock's films have like the pretense of being realistic or grounded, but have such a distinct like style and type of characters to them that
No, none of that is a
that's not the
complaint.
real world, yeah.
Except I could have done without the terrible accent. No, I thought this was a good time.
Well, and it's funny the things this has in common, coincidentally, with the last movie I made you guys watch, When a Stranger Calls, one of which being the POV shift. But this one thing we haven't really talked about yet is the character Grace, played by Jennifer Salt as this reporter, and I think she's great. She's like the secret protagonist of this movie because there is a hard shift to when it's telling her story and she's investigating this murder, and I think she's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
It's like classic film noir, Spitfire reporter lady, definitely like the Lois Lane archetype. And underrated female protagonist,
which is funny because we have the 70s Lois Lane in this movie.
Yep.
Sure, yeah.
No, I liked her a lot. Except for probably in the. I think she's acting a little okay, and I don't think it's I dislike her, but I'm not gonna fully spoil it. But just the first scene when she goes to that like home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was like, "What are you trying to accomplish here? That nobody's gonna talk to you at night, like." Common sense.
Yeah, I thought that she was interesting. I thought that she was more interesting than likable. I did like her, like how she was written, but I think it becomes pretty clear early on that she's more career motivated than getting justice. I mean, maybe she cares about that a little bit, but it seemed more to me like she's trying to get more clout in her like reporting career.
Yeah, and you also have to look at this through the lens of when this was made. 1972. The women's lib movement's a big backdrop here, and this is a character where people don't respect her. They don't take her very seriously with this job. Like the arguments she has with her mom, like her mom's like, "Oh yeah, this is nice, but when are you gonna get married?" Like
Yeah.
you have to factor in when this was made.
Real quick,
Right.
I'm gonna put down the blank statement here. From here on, we are going to be spoiling the movie just because
Okay.
I want to get
For
into
sure.
it. I'm gonna fight you a little bit on that, Noah. If she didn't care about justice, I don't think she would have called the cops at all. I think the scene that you're talking about, that you're thinking of, where she's talking to her mom, is more just she is frustrated with her career and sees this as a way to fix that. But her primary goal is to get the police to actually investigate this. She's doing this because the cops won't do anything.
But I do think that she wants to be the one that like breaks the case or like, starts the investigation, which is why she gets the cops involved. I mean, I do think she's a person like on a level she does care about justice, I think, but I think she's more motivated by selfish interests. At least that's what I got from
I
watching it.
I think I think she has a selfish goal, but her motivation, but her end goal is ultimately altruistic.
I mean, yeah, it is
She wants to
ultimately.
break this case because the cops won't listen to her, but that would also have the side effect of she gets this story.
She's in a position where the cops aren't really a fan of her because she's been very critical of them. There is
Right.
some social commentary here on police brutality and race relations and stuff. So it's like that's just another kind of obstacle
Yeah.
for her and getting them to take her seriously. It's like because she's being critical of them over various stories and things going on at the time. And also again, not to get stuck on this, but like this is like a really early film with Margot Kidder and the guy she ends up sleeping with, and spoiler alert, dies. Like very early example of an interracial relationship we see on screen. Like that was very
Yeah.
progressive for the time, and that poor guy, man.
The poor
Like,
guy.
I like how he says it's progressive, considering how that ends.
yeah, it doesn't end well. But it's also funny though from the guy's point of view because like there are so many red flags from Margot Kidder's character where it's like, dude, get out of there, man.
Yeah.
Like this
You
isn't gonna
gotta.
end well.
Look, he just wanted to get laid.
One twist though that I'm guessing you guys probably didn't see coming is the guy pretending to be her crazy ex-husband turns out to be her doctor, who's like I think that was a good twist when you find out what's really going on
Yeah,
with
I
that
didn't see
dude.
that specifically
No,
coming.
that
I
that is
could.
the part that caught me off guard. But I wasn't shocked because I'd called the multiple personalities.
Yeah, me
I
too.
was I was 98% sure that it was going to be another personality that was her sister. But so I'll go ahead and talk about this now. They threw me off when they start making you think that the reporter is the sister, which I kind of wish that's where they had gone. That would have been a cool mind fuck. And this movie is heightened enough; it could have gotten away with that. But I'm ultimately fine with where they went. But it did just circle back around to being a split personality, which I called. I just didn't get some of the details, like it's activated by sex because of this whole thing with like one of the twins is married to that doctor, and like they're trying to have a kid, so they have to sedate the other twin. It's all really fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Um, yeah, I remember the first time I watched this, and you get to that third act and that crazy long nightmare trip sequence, and I was like, it's such a mind fuck, and I was like, where's this movie going? And then it turns out it's just a nightmare. It's actually like there is a rational
Yeah.
explanation by the end of it, but it does try to subvert you for a minute, and it's something I was of two minds of when I first saw it, and I'm just kind of fine with it the way it is. I do think there's a lot you have to kind of rewrite and change to make that twist work. It's very hard to pull off the twist of like this whole thing you were watching was in this character's head, or your protagonist is crazy. You know what I mean? Like that's a tricky thing
Yeah.
to pull off. But I get where you're coming from and kind of wishing it went there because it is such a mind fuck and very
Yeah,
confusing.
no, I love that shit.
But but yes, the actual twist of just it's a split personality. But both twins are in one, so to speak. I remember also calling that pretty early on because it's Psycho, like literally.
Well, and there was another movie, and I couldn't find it, but I watched on Shudder a couple years ago, which is like verbatim the twist. It's this woman, like people keep dying around her, and she can't remember why. And the twist is she has another personality that is her twin that she ate in the womb.
Oh, one of those. Okay.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, is it gonna be this? I'm pretty sure it's this. And then it
Is that kind of what Malignant is?
kind
Kind of.
of Malignant
sounds
is
vaguely
crazier.
familiar.
Can I just spoil Malignant?
Yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
know
I've-
what this is.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a split personality. It's the brother lives in her head. It's beautiful. So when the brother takes over, she like walks backwards because it's in the back of her head. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
About the teasing what you thought was going to be the twist in that trippy sequence at the end. I was really worried because I did not want that to be the case of the reporter actually being her sister.
Oh,
Yeah, it just wouldn't make any sense to me. I'm glad that they didn't go in that direction.
and the movie that we have makes complete sense. I think this is heightened enough you
On
can
some
get away
level.
with that.
Well, what I mean for that is if they went full on with that, there's no prior hint to that happening. They didn't seed that earlier.
That's why I said like you got to rework some things in the first half
Yeah,
to
probably.
make
The idea
that
of
work
them
with
living
the
so
timeline.
close together, that would be such a convenience.
Again, I think you could have made that work, but I'm fine with it as it is. Now, the twist of it being a split personality thing, Noah, did you find that too derivative of Psycho since you called it so early? Or do you think this has enough of
Um,
its own personality?
well, weirdly enough, I wasn't specifically thinking of Psycho, even though that is clearly what it's like ripping from. I was picking up more like stylistic things, like oh yeah, this just looks like a Hitchcock movie, and like the Rear Window of it all too. Um, but specifically with the split personality, um, it didn't. I wasn't checked out after that, but I was kind of like, oh yeah, this again, just because that's a trope that's been done to death at this point. But
You know
it's
what would have
it's a
made
thing that
this? Oh,
it's a
sorry.
thing that I have to have like historical perspective with, of course.
What would have made this movie better is if at the end there was a 15-minute monologue explaining what the idea
Yeah.
is.
The doctor guy looks deep into the camera and explains what split personalities are.
Yeah, that would have made
Uh,
this movie a true masterpiece.
One thing though I want to give it credit for is I do think this has a really tight script. The opening scene is so weird and I love it. It's also really efficient with how much it sets up. So we start, and I'm sure this threw you guys off. Like, what the fuck am I watching? This
Yeah,
really
immediately.
bizarre game show
Yeah, no, I
with
was
this
like, what
peeping
is the
tom
tone
guy.
of this movie?
I was like, she's gonna be like a blind protagonist. This is weird.
But she's not. She's an actress. And then it's just this. It plays like satire, like, but I also can't tell like how much did this play like satire at the time, or is this now just the reality we live in now? Like, it feels like Gremlins 2 in that way. How Gremlins 2 is like poking fun of like, what if we had channels dedicated to all this
Yeah.
weird shit, and then that's just the world we live in now.
Or like
Like,
RoboCop.
yeah, very RoboCop.
Yeah.
But it also
Brian De
sets
Palma
up.
RoboCop would have slapped.
Oh hell yeah,
I've been,
he should have done
yeah.
3.
Anyone
But
else should have done 3.
but one thing that opening scene immediately sets up is the themes of voyeurism, which are all over Hitchcock's films and are all throughout this. Like characters spying on or looking at characters who aren't aware of it,
Yeah.
and that's a big thing in Psycho and Rear Window, of course, and that's all throughout this. It also the prize they win is like the cutlery, which turns out to be the murder weapon.
Yeah.
There's all these little things set up that are really clever. And I will say, when Philip goes to get the cake and he's asking the lady and she to write something on it, and she's like, "Oh, they're not in. That's not my job." And he's like, "Oh, come on, it's easy." I, Dick move to say, "Hey, you, this isn't your job, but can you write Happy Birthday, Danielle and Dominique?" That's a lot of letters, man. Just ask her to write Happy Birthday. It's
Yeah,
important for the
especially
plot.
Dominique.
Right.
Although,
we all would have fucked that up if that's not
yeah,
your job.
even if it was my job, I probably would have fucked it up. Can I just say the payoff for the cake is the best thing in the movie? She's like,
Yes.
look, the cake with the names, and then just drops it.
It's so good. And very Psycho in the way it's structured around, like, not the MacGuffins, but like these objects, just part of the investigation.
Yeah.
Like these clues that you don't realize watching it are going to become clues. But yeah, there's a lot of dark comedy in this movie. Also, when they put the body in the couch bed, I was both, oh man, that's kind of funny and also clever. I haven't seen that in a movie before. And that's very. I don't know if you guys have seen the Hitchcock movie Rope, but that's
I have seen
like a
2 Hitchcock films.
I like Rope a lot. It's great, but that's
Yeah, I
that
gotta
whole
watch it.
movie is that whole movie centered around a body that's hidden in like a trunk or something, and you have all these people in this house or apartment that don't know that there's a body in there. So that scene, like that whole, John was alluding to it earlier, but like that split screen POV shift, I love that
Yes.
sequence.
Was so
where
good.
She's
I loved it.
running across the street to get to the apartment, and on the other side, we're seeing the cleanup of the murder. That's great stuff.
Yeah. The main thing I thought of with the split screen sequence is they do that a lot in season 2 of Fargo. Which is, I think, a clear nod to like this kind of era of like 70s suspense movies.
Also, another thing that they set up in the first act is when Grace is in the car with her mom. Her mom is telling her about like, oh yeah, there's like this mental institution where they let people just walk around, and like there's all kinds of stuff you can investigate, and then it's like, oh, that actually
And then you
pays
get
off
to it later.
And
yeah, one thought I just had, because earlier you talked about When a Stranger Calls, and what I thought you were going to mention is, because I'm pretty sure this is the same actor, Charles Durning is in this movie, and that's the guy from When a Stranger Calls that kind of takes over the movie for a bit.
He gets a lot less screen time in this. He's the private investigator, Grace Ayers. I think he's great in this movie. I really like him.
Yeah, I like him too. It's a very bit part, like you just said. But that's a guy that I kind of just like seeing show up in different things. Like he's in a few Coen Brothers movies too.
Yeah, again, scene very Rear Window when she's looking at him, like, and he's sneaking into the apartment.
Yes.
I also like that he figures out that it's the couch. Like the couch is way too heavy. There's got to be a body in there. That's where it is.
Yeah. And that's
then
they end the movie on too.
That's what they end the movie.
He's just like staring at the couch.
But again, there's a lot of dark comedy in this movie, but he goes on like his own like wild goose, not a wild goose chase, but like his own adventure, his own odyssey, just following this body because he thinks this is like part of like a bigger conspiracy, right? It's like, oh man, these guys driving the truck, like they're in on it, like who got this guy killed, what's going on? So that's why he's never like striking up a conversation. He's always just watching it from afar. I don't know. That final shot is so weird, but I kind of love it.
It was amusing, especially
amusing,
because I didn't realize that this is like early on when we didn't do end credits a lot, so the movie just kind of like cuts to black right after that. So like when I was watching it on Max, it was just like movie over. It was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, the seven. Oh, sorry.
Real quick. Speaking of the ending, this has one of the most horrifying endings when you think about it.
Oh, it's still a downer.
Which I think is part of what I loved about it. That their witness is gone. Like she has no memory of it now.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that to your point where this is still kind of heightened, it's definitely doing that pseudoscience thing where it's like, okay, is hypnotism this effective in real life? I don't think so, but I
Yeah,
can go
that's
with
why
it.
I was like, when Noah said that it wouldn't have made sense for the other twist, I'm like, this is a movie with hypnotism in it. I don't know. I think you could go there.
I
Yeah.
I don't know.
But in the context of the movie, what's happening is, oh, she's drugged and has this crazy
Hypnotized.
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
getting
I can
hypnotized.
suspend my disbelief with something like that because that at least resembles something that happens in real life. I don't know.
And
The other thing's a little too.
Noah
but
thinks
I think
twins
it's
don't
set up
happen in
for a
real
lot of
life.
No, yeah, they were made up by Brian De Palma.
I mean, that's probably true.
they don't exist. But before we get like the big uh trippy mindfuck sequence, when you realize what's going on and the the bad guy comes in and is starting to gaslight her, that's such a tense sequence where you're like, oh fuck, get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get out of there.
And it's
'Cause
really believable too for that setting, because he just
yes,
comes in and he's like, "Oh, Margaret, you're off your meds." You know?
the second she fucks up is when she follows the orderly guy like into the other room. It's like, no, run, get out of
Run.
there, because it's such a great moment when the villain walks in and she's like, that's the guy, that's the killer, and you realize, oh shit, he's like the head of this facility, he's the head doctor, and it's completely believable. Like, yeah, who's this orderly working there gonna believe,
Mhm.
his boss or this lady, this
Some
crazy
random
lady who
woman.
just showed up in the middle of the night? Like, that is such a masterclass in gaslighting and tension
It is.
where
Okay.
you're like, oh no.
I have one potential problem with that, though. Why didn't she just bring her press pass? She's a reporter.
I think she said it was in the car, like she left her purse.
Yeah, why didn't you bring it with you?
People make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
It's
because
weird.
she keeps saying like, oh, it's in the car, and then he's like, yeah, sure it is. Just come with me, come on. And she's like, no.
Yeah, no. No, that was great. The minute he was like, oh, she's off her meds, she just came in yesterday, I was like, oh. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because it's like, how do you get out of that scenario other than either humoring him and like seeing how far you could go without getting hypnotized, or running?
Run, Forrest,
Running was
run.
that was probably the smarter choice.
Yeah.
If only Dr. Loomis showed up.
The evil.
The evil
It's in this
is
facility.
evil.
Yeah, John. A few minutes ago, Noah and I were talking about the private investigator character who was in that actor was in a When a Stranger Calls, and you didn't like him very much there. Did you like his performance better
I
in
didn't
this
even
film?
realize
'Cause
that was the same guy. Yeah, he was pretty good.
I think he's fun. Like, he's not in the movie a lot, but I think he's fun. And just the little bits of banter we get with him and Grace, where he's like, "Look, lady, like I know what I'm doing." All
No,
right?"
that is the scene. That is the scene most where I was annoyed with the protagonist. I was like, "Will you shut up and let him do his job?"
Exactly.
No, he was good.
Yeah.
I didn't even put together that's the same guy. I don't remember anything from When a Stranger Calls now.
Oh,
Besides
wow.
the opening.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's like a short film.
But
This arguably has more twists and turns than When a Stranger Calls, but I feel like that's just from memory. I think that's maybe structured a bit better, or at least more interesting to me. Just because that has distinctive sections where it's like, this is like, it's a Hitchcock movie, and then it's like a detective movie. Oh, it's a mind fuck.
So I will say as well, this is more of an aesthetic thing, because I was going through trying to make the thumbnail. The only poster for this I really like is the Criterion one. I don't know if you guys have seen that. But the Criterion release for
Yeah.
this looks great, and I'm tempted to pick it up.
Oh hell yeah.
But I'm waiting to see if they do a 4K because I think it's just the Blu-ray.
Yeah, because even the print on HBO Max, like it's good, but like it probably could be
Look,
better.
yeah.
Like
That's
this
fine.
could use
The
another-
opening credits were atrocious, by the way. Whatever noise that is that's playing during them when it first started is like, ow.
Okay. I do like the score in this for the most part. Which, speaking of Hitchcock,
It's Bernard Herrmann.
he got Bernard Herrmann to do the score. Who did Psycho and a bunch of other Hitchcock movies.
Remember
So-
Hitchcock?
Yep, that's a lot of this
I
movie.
remember.
At least it's not Reanimator that just took the score from Psycho.
But yeah, I think this is a cool, trippy,
Yeah.
movie with some great characters, twists and turns, and also like does that thing. I like a setup when somebody witnesses a murder from across the street, because you don't see that as much in fiction as you think you would. It's like a
Yeah.
murder happens in broad daylight with the windows open, and of course, like it just happens to be a reporter who witnesses it, but it's fine. Movie needs to
It's
happen.
all fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I don't know if I'd watch all of De Palma's films because he does have like a long
It's a
list,
lot.
and there's some that I'm not interested in. Scarface. I'm not a crime guy. But I'd go through and see his like other horror flicks. I think he's got a real eye for the genre.
Body Double and Dress to Kill are like the big ones I still need to see. And Phantom of the Paradise, his musical Phantom of the Opera,
Like
weird
80s fan
shit.
of the opera.
I've heard it's insane, but I should
Or
check it out.
70s.
And I will say, like Noah said, this is obviously a Hitchcock homage, but it never feels like, oh, we're just ripping off Hitchcock, which is its greatest strength, I think.
No. It just kind of feels like an updated version of it.
Yeah.
And the closest it gets to feeling derivative is the main like split personality twist. But to its credit, we get that information like an hour in, and then there's no like 5-minute exposition scene at the end. Like,
I'm glad
the movie gives you the information to piece together yourself, and I really respect that.
I don't know what you said that triggered this, but I just remembered the greatest shot in this movie is when it zooms in on her leg scar and this like over dramatic music starts playing. And if you don't know what's going on, you're like, what?
Huh?
So
Well, that was when it clicked for me. I was like, oh, she's a conjoined twin. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, but that might be my favorite shot in the movie because it's so weird. Robert, is there anything else we really need to talk about?
I will say this was released in the UK titled Blood Sisters, and I think I like that title a little better. Probably a hot take.
I was gonna say.
I don't think I like it
like
for
that
what this
title
movie
less.
is. I don't think I like it for what this movie is. That makes me think it's more magic based or something.
Yeah, that's or like a cult kind of voodoo thing going on.
Oh, also, this amused me, and it's not as weird once you realize where she's at because it took me a minute to catch up with where she's at. But that guy outside with the clippers is like clipping bushes like I would have when I was 4.
Yeah.
He's just kind of clip, but he's not really doing anything.
And then she goes inside. We cut back to him, and he's just like,
Yeah,
like to nobody.
it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
And then that lady comes in, the germaphobe. who-
Yeah. Oh,
Gets
yeah.
away.
That
They're
was the
coming
other
in through
scene
the
that stuck with me.
calls.
And you're like,
Because
oh,
we
that's
spend a weird amount of time on her like freaking out, and like she's genuinely really good in that one scene.
Oh, she's so good.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah, and Grace is just kind of like, okay, what's going on here?
Well, and I don't know if I might have missed it, but I missed where she was going. So I was confused. I was like, "The hell is going on?" Like,
Yeah. No, this is a movie that plays really well on a second watch when you know where
Mhm.
everything's going and what's being set up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Really like
excited
it.
to watch it again.
Cool.
Robert, any final thoughts? Anything else you want to address?
No, that's pretty much it. What's funny is I predicted, knowing your guys' sensibilities, I actually thought Noah would probably like this more than you, John. But it seems like you like this movie
Yeah.
more. So, yeah, you never know.
Interesting.
Yeah,
True.
that's why I'm
Because
open to
John,
watching about anything, at least once.
because John loved it, and Noah's never gonna talk to me again.
Yeah.
I hate it. You suck at recommending things. Get out of here. No, I think John likes it a bit more than I do, but I thought it was solid. I thought it was a good pick.
Yeah.
Oh, the one other thing I forgot to mention again, just a lot of dark comedy in this movie. Back to the opening after that game show, she wins like this really nice cutlery, and he gets this stay at this horribly tacky, poor taste restaurant, like
Yeah.
the African room. And when you see like what some of the employees there are dressed, you're like, oh come on, man,
Yeah.
like, this is embarrassing.
How
It was the early
embarrassing.
70s.
Yeah.
Um.
It's,
Yeah, I don't remember if we do ratings, but I will say I give this a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Oh, yeah, that's about where I'd give it. I think it's cool.
Noah,
I'd give
what
it
would
like
you
a,
rate this?
I'd give it
He's
like a
like
three and
half
a
a
half.
star.
No. Yeah, 0 stars. It's terrible. No, like a 3.5, I'd say.
And then because I'm me, I do keep a list of this as well. Robert never starts his list. This made it number 6. It's just above The Game, and right below the Stepfather. I had trouble reading that for a second.
Take
Nice.
Noah.
Hey,
Ah,
Noah has
you're
the number
beating on him.
1 pick still with Donnie Darko.
That's a good one.
Right.
Speaking
Yeah.
of, well, real
Oh
quick,
yeah.
real quick, for the pre-recorded, if you're watching this after the fact, we appreciate you, and consider hitting that like and subscribe button. And we'll see you guys on the next one. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. Noah's gonna reveal his pick for 2 weeks from
Yes.
now,
Yeah, something like that.
something like that.
Whatever. Because I don't remember everything we have planned.
Drum
but,
roll, drum
yeah.
roll.
Drum roll, please. All right. So this pick, fortunately, this movie is streaming. I was kind of worried that it wouldn't be, but yeah. And this is a movie that I've wanted to do for a bit. Just something on this director because I think we should honor him, honor his passing. It's a David Lynch movie.
Oh no.
Um, I would like us to do a review of Eraserhead
Hell
before the end of the
Fuck.
yeah.
year. Yeah, Robert has not
Oh.
seen it. John has.
Ugh.
We got to do it. We gotta talk about Lynch. We got to honor the man.
Does this count as more of a horror movie than Donnie Darko or The Game? I'm
Well,
guessing.
the real horror
absolutely-
is watching it.
Absolutely more than The Game, and yeah, I'd say more than Donnie Darko as well. So this is probably the most horror I've recommended.
The real
Good
horror
job,
is
you did it.
watching the movie.
I did it.
Oh.
I did it. I'd say maybe you could still have a debate about whether or not it's horror, but I'd say it's straight up.
It's
horror
as much
movie.
horror as anything Lynch made.
Yeah. Well, because later it gets more into like crime kind of horror hybrid stuff, but this I think is more fully horror.
Tyler
But
just
anyway,
said
yeah,
trash? Question mark? Question mark? Do you not like Eraserhead?
I think he takes
Well-
umbrage with you not liking Eraserhead, but I don't know.
Now, I will say, to be fair, I just had a really bad viewing the last time I watched it because I was watching it with a friend and I don't think they were liking it. And I've noticed, okay, so this is weird. This is a weird thing with me. I've noticed sometimes that'll happen. I showed my friend Friday 4 and they weren't liking it. And I was like, oh, maybe I don't like Friday 4. And then I watched it by myself. I was like, what the hell am I thinking? This movie's great.
I love Friday 4.
Yeah. So maybe if I watch it by myself, I'll be like, I don't know what I was on. This movie's great.
Yeah.
But
Just don't watch it with
We'll
Noah.
see.
He's gonna pry your eyes open, Clockwork Orange style.
Yeah.
But
And
love dressed
as
like Ray Fiennes saying, "Do you see?"
do you see? Do you see? Is he dead? But yeah, so if you're on YouTube, this video will end. I will start a new one, and then here in how long do you guys need between?
Yeah, just 5 minutes.
5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
In 5 minutes or so, we will come back and do Friday 2, A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Dead for the 40th anniversary.
Was that a joke?
What do you mean?
And Noah, did you?
Wait, what did I say?
I spaced out for a second. What did he say?
You said Freddy's dead, not
Oh
Freddy's
shit!
Revenge.
God
I
damn
was like,
it!
is this a bit?
It's the wrong bad
We'll fix it in
nightmare
post.
movie.
It's fine.
Fix it in post. We'll be back, folks.
Bye bye.
Yeah. But we'll just dub over you later, so like it just doesn't match. Freddy's Revenge.
Yeah.